Alright, this is Ralph Schraven, aka Neferi Shortle, and we're playing Caitlyn in blind pick this time. Let's see who we're up against. Silver 1 Teemo. That's the pick the odd one out here. You have diamond, plat, plat, gold, plat, diamond, plat, and then you have the silver player here. He does have a very good win rate, so I don't know, like he's probably well into a gold player himself. Hunter Platypus though. Oh, that's awkward. 29%. What has he been doing in those ranked matches? What the actual? Let's see. Let's see. Ooh. He has as much unique champions as he has games played. What are you doing? What are you doing? 1 and 11 on Shyvana, 2 and 8 on Akali, 3 and 6 on Ilaoi. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that these are difficult champions to play and you need to actually know them. Like, you're just, like, yeah, Jace is strong, but not if you play him once in a season, right? Yeah, and he's actually apparently a support main who then also plays some other roles, and then he just was like, screw support. And then before that, he was a jungle main. It's like this guy can't decide what to do. Just like me in a sense, but I'm still a top jungle who just autofills a lot. And the thing is, I'm not going to try and be the best player, right? I'm trying to be a universal player that can help everyone with coaching, right? That's my goal in playing this game, is eventually I want to, you know, become a coach, which is a very different approach to the game, right? Like, I want to learn what it takes to be a good marksman without having to be a challenger tier marksman, right? And what it takes to be a good tank without having to be a challenger tier tank. I want to get it to a point where it's really good, but, you know, just building the reflexes for thousands of hours. No thank you, right? So that's just kind of my approach to the game, right? It's just a way of playing, I guess. But this guy, I can't imagine that it's enjoyable to not climb and not really improve either. Like, you're not really doing anything of anything. Because even though I'm autofilling... Alright, that's a very good flash. Like, don't mistake that for, like... I mean, sure, it's awkward that he had to flash in the first place, but you're move commanding here, and you're literally doing this out of a reflex. That's pretty impressive. I guess he was already walking backwards for, like, a second, but still. Good play by him. Alright. Well... Oh, Tristana still starts with Relic Shield. I don't think that's worth it anymore. So, yeah, looking at this matchup, if I don't get hit by a pool and a pool... Morgana binding, yeah, it's a binding. Then I should be good. Morgana's not in the strongest spot right now, I don't think so. Engage supports still have a lead over the alternatives. Alistar does not need to pull that far. Like, Graves can kite this at Aeternum. They might sit in that brush. Alright. Nice. Walk up for the auto. Oh. Didn't expect to get hit by that. Tried to walk behind the minions. Okay. Did it slightly too soon. So, changing my move commands as soon as I see the Morgana catching up. Oh! He tried to WQ, but he missed it. He just pounded the floor. Not too much poking going on, but... focusing mainly on the CS because that's mostly... That's not what mostly is gonna matter, but... As long as there's no real engages, then that's all we can focus on, really. Oh, should have hit auto the other one. This does give me more time to poke. Not sure if that's worth it. Pretty sure that's not worth it. Oh, fuck. Okay, 188. Just barely not enough. Not sure what she's trying to do. So, Jin Zhao did a full clear. So he has to come back to bot side. Oh, Jin Zhao's in the jungle. And I am CSing well. I'm really working on those lane mechanics. I haven't worked as much on the mid-game mechanics yet, like not getting killed by assassins, juggling those appropriately, because that's the main thing for me to now left to improve, because my lane mechanics, sure, they're not great, but they can manage, right? Like, it's not at all why I lose games. Ah, shit. At least I didn't get hit in the pool. I stepped out of it. Just trying to push against this Tristana as much as I can. Oh shit. Alright. Just gotta hit him up with those autos. That's all what it's about in this lane. Positioning and auto attacks and positioning and auto attacks. Just do that consistently and you make your way to the mid game, where it's a whole nother mini game. Alright. Okay, I would have won that trade really, 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 really hard. What? She already got the cooldown back? She has stacks on that or something? I'm pretty sure she has stacks on that. Like, because there's no way that she could do that otherwise. There's no way she could... If that's a regular cooldown, there's no way. So I'm pretty sure that's just something that stacks up until 2, and then you can use 2 jumps with like a minimum of 5 seconds between it. I don't know, I'll have to look up Tristana because I really don't understand that. So, my first real fail comes from an actual engage, right? Not from the laning mechanics, which is very telling of how I am as an AD carry. It's like, you could view it as a precursor to the mid game, right? All those very fluid scenarios that are very marksman oriented are what I can't really do. Because that's not what I have experience with. I have experience with top lane. And those kind of laning mechanics at the start are very similar to what you do in top lane. But once it gets down to your archetype, right? Like, that's when things start to really metal up. Just let those get hit by the autos. Alright. Very solid on the CSing. Hey, got one at least. Alright. Yeah, the kind of jungle prediction, like, I don't really know how warding works at a high level. Just beyond, like, well, I mean, the jungler's probably bot side, but that guy is really low, so I guess I'm going in. It's not like I have any inside information on how to deal with that, right? It's just like, I guess I'll just go in and see what happens. Whew. We're not playing with fools. Ah. Alright. Now, I don't have any summoners for another 1.5 minutes. So, should be very careful with this. Just let her push it in. Just let her push it in. Well, no, thank you. I think she's gonna clear this anyway. Alright, she's gonna slow push it. Slow push. Just gonna shove this as hard as she can. What am I talking about? Holy shit, if I hit that Q, she would have died. Yeah, run, bitch. Alright. Haha, she stayed. Holy. Now, where is this fucking Xin Zhao? Right, I missed the CS. Shame on me. Oh wow, that hit nobody? Really? I like how conceptual this role is. And this champion as well. As most of them are. I accidentally auto-attacked the minion, the ward, and then I just started, like, clearing it. Because I... Wait, where did I flash to? Yeah, if I use my flash... I don't have the muscle memory for these kind of situations. I'll have to try and simulate this in my mind, right? Like, because the way you practice the most efficiently is, like, is by, like, constantly thinking of it in your mind. Once you have a way to do something in a set scenario that you can kind of apply across a broad surface, you want to sort of iterate that in as many different scenarios and really think about them. Like, what would I do? What would I do? And really develop a reflex for it, even if you're not playing, right? It sounds silly, but the funny thing is that muscle memory can be created even when you're not doing the task. Yeah, right. She did. Not to me, but... So, as you can see, like, my fundamentals, the fundamentals of just laning mechanics, are not the biggest problem here. Like, 122 CS is a pretty big lead. buy pink wards. It's not a problem either. Ah, fuck, we didn't get the first turret. I can probably do the Gromp. Krugs. Oh. Yeah, I can certainly do those. It's not very difficult this way. I'm done. I'm a 0-4. I have no flash, no summoners, and I go suicided down the lane. Like, you have no vision whatsoever, and there's 3 people potentially roaming to your lane. Maybe that's the time to play it safe, right? Maybe go in when there's a Graves in this area looking for something, right? You missed your opportunity when you died the first and second time. You can't go in anymore. So saying that you're done because someone didn't gank for you or whatever, like, when you're walking up yourself in a 1 versus potentially 3, right? To me, that just seems silly. Okay. If I rooted him, maybe I could have done something there. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, right. It's a regular ward. Alright. He activated ult just for that. It's a 4v. Yeah, no, never mind. Can't do it. Yeah, right. Yeah. Exhaust would have been much more useful than the ultimate. He actually got refunded his ultimate. That's really funny. Yeah, I'm 0-3. I can't... See, I have had numerous situations in this game where your skill as a marksman, not as a laner, but as a marksman, is just being put to the test. And that's where I have to, like, develop my skills. Right, because I don't have those positional senses, right? Because I just never practiced them. Like, as an engaged tank, as a Mundo, I can survive with 100 health, start running around, cleaver someone, slow them, you know, poke them around, and then do something, right? I don't have those skills. Okay, we can engage on this. Again. I'm not sure how I should have played that. Tried to get the last hit, but Zir got it. What? Why is she not dead already? Yes, clear the minion wave. Don't give any gold to your AD carry. Is good strategy to win game. You are the only carry in a game. That's like when people always say, like, why do my teammates not, like, why do they always suck? Why do we always have to carry them? It's because you're denying them CS, maybe? right? If you're denying someone 20 CS and then they start greeting and tilting, they are more likely to fail than when you give them a wave and they're like, thanks, jungler, and then they have more gold, right? And they feel good about themselves, about you. There's a reason sometimes that your teammates are consistently underperforming. And that reason is you, because you're the only consistent factor in your games. Your teammates keep rotating and rotating, right? You don't know which teammates you're gonna get. But you know you're gonna get you. If you always steal those waves away, well then that's maybe the reason your teammates are always doing poorly. As a jungler, that's just like... that's the way you approach the game, in a nutshell. So, I should be able to kite him with my E. That's kind of what I'm thinking, right? Like, that's how I'm... So what you want to do is you want to layer your responses ahead of you, right? So you want to be like, if he does this, I do this. If he does that, I do that. And that's kind of where I feel right now, because I don't have the practice as AD carry. That's what I have to build in my mind. That framework of procedures, like if he does that, then I do that, and if he does that. If this guy goes mid, I just try to go before him. I try to CS the wave. Oh! So he got the knock-up with his auto attack. So what I should have been like is like, he's gonna try and auto the minions. When he gets 2 of his stacks up, I should E backwards, because he could jump and then knock up, or he could even try to flash knock up, right? And because I don't have that layered in my mind, that's the main difference in reflexes, right? Where your ability to respond to something is very, very dependent on whether you anticipate it beforehand and are just waiting for it to show up. Because if you have to really think about it, I see the flash and then I have to think about it. Like, wait, flash? I didn't think of that. And that's why I died there, because I didn't have that layered out. And that's something I should have been layering out, right? So that's what you want to identify in your gameplays. Like, are you layering incorrectly, or are you simply leaving things out, right? Like, if I go here and Xin Zhao is here, if I analyze that risk and say, no, that's fine, I have the time, that's called being incorrect, right? And you have to work on that. You have to look at your timings. But if you do it by omission and you just didn't think about it, you should be like, well, maybe I should more often take some time to evaluate the risk, right? Really, every time I push a minion wave, force myself. Wait, I'm pushing a minion wave. What's the risk? Those are the kind of the 2 approaches you can have, right? To the game. Or not to the game, to improving yourself. So, yeah, this is very interesting. It's a very, very nice showcase, this game, on what I do well and what I do poorly. What are my strengths and weaknesses? Very, very prototypical when I'm playing AD carry, right? Especially in this game. Alright, that drowsy hit him, and then 5 seconds later it hit me. The cooldown, the sense of cooldowns for champions like Tristana and Zoe, some new champions and some champions that have never ever ever played, are just, you know, that's just game knowledge. So I have a lot to still improve on. There's a reason you need so much experience with the game to be a really good player. To just consistently outplay people, you need experience. Alright, so this game is completely over. But we're not surrendering. And that sucks. Because that's a tilter. Not surrendering is one of the reasons why people tilt so much in this game, is because there's too many people that deal with their tilt by being sort of, what's it called? Defiant, right? Like just doing whatever displeases people the most, right? Just like being general dickheads, right? He can almost one-shot me, but not quite. Oh wait, he has actually gotten an AD build, so no, he cannot one-shot me even one bit. Let that guy heal up. What is that? What is that? Shroom galore. Please. Yeah, finally. Alright. So, even though I failed this game, I still think it's a nice showcase, like, on coaching and self-improvement and just improvement in general. So coaching is just like, is just the trying to get someone else to improve, right? And because it's involved in reaching out to someone else and convincing them, it's a separate skill, a separate art. Like, how do you convince people of something they might not conceptualize the same way, right? That's the difference between self-improvement and coaching, right? And why it's such a different category. Where coaching is, where self-improvement, it's just about analyzing where you need to improve. With coaching, you need to do that first and then figure out how you can convince others. So it's just a different, there's an extra component to it, right? It's another person who thinks differently from you. So yeah, I mean, I feel sad and happy at the same time. Mixed emotions, right? So let's just take a look at the lack of layering in these parts. Where in the lane, I have everything layered out. Like, I know that I step out of the minions and then I try to bait a Morgana Q and walk back. That succeeded almost consistently, just one failure and then one where I had to change the pattern a little bit. But mostly that pattern worked perfectly, right? And it just worked out the same way every single time. But then the auto attacks, the CSing, that's all layered as well. Like, I know if Tristana walks up, try to auto him, right? If I have nothing that's low, I auto him, right? All those things, right? Whenever there's nothing that I need to auto, just to keep up the push, right? Like, it's just like you're constantly autoing minions or champions, right? And you look for an auto on champions. If you don't get it, you auto minion, right? So I have that layered out. And then the engages happen, and I just completely spaz out. So that's what I'm going to be looking into now, because if I can get that to work, if you get 10 CS per minute, you almost get every single one of them, and then you actually slowly push them out of lane and get their takedowns and get the first turret, you're just going to hard carry the game. Right, if you can play the mid game at least, right? Like, if you can play it, then you're there. Like, you're a good AD carry then, right? Which means this is probably a very difficult aspect that's not going to improve quickly, because, you know, everything takes practice in this game. There's nothing that a prodigy or something, right? Even though there's prodigies, you still have to realize across every single skill that I've informally studied, like whether it's chess or League or even just, you know, playing musical instruments, it's always the same story. These kids that are extremely good, yes, they are talented, and yes, they mainly have a developmental lead. That's the biggest thing. They're not just talented, they're developmentally ahead of their other children. They're almost like adults in that sense. It's also the literal meaning of prodigy, like having an adult-like skill as a child, right? But the main thing that differentiates them from other children is not those things, although they are relevant, and they do exist, it's the amount of time and dedication, right? Like, if you just look at chess, the average 2000 ELO kid, right, has spent 4,000 hours seriously practicing, right? Serious practice, 4,000 hours, that's a lot of time. And adults by that time, like, if I did that, I would be well over 2,000 by that point. Well over, just completely beyond that point. I would probably be at 2300 level by that time, right? But they're kids, so they do practice. They do improve slower, although not extremely slowly. And that's kind of the thing most people don't understand. So any skill, when you think you can improve quickly, it's probably not the whole story, because you always need that practice. Just long, repeated practice. Low variance if you can at all try to get it that way. So that's one of the CS that I miss. Let's just skip ahead. 0 and 1. Yeah, let's look at this. So look at this. So did I layer the Morgana walking up to me and queuing me? Yes, I thought about that beforehand. If she does that, I have a pattern set up. The pattern is correct. It's complete. Like I've pretty much covered all Morgana's movement patterns. If she walks up too close, I start auto-attacking her. So any of her movements, right, have a response to it built in my brain. And I know what to do. Now ask yourself about Alistar. Have I thought about Hack Slash? As soon as that mechanic entered the game, did I say, oh, that's an interesting mechanic. I have to, like, think of ways that can be used and start building responses for that because it's a new mechanic. Nope, not at all. Now look at this. He's using Hack Slash here, right? So you can see him charge it up. I didn't even notice that animation is a Hack Slash. So I just sit here auto-attacking the minions, orb walking, doing nothing, and I'm like, what? Huh? So here I try to walk up. So here she barely lives. And I don't look at the minimap. So because something completely unexpected happens, how much effort does it take to respond to something that you see coming entirely? You're just like, oh, Morgana's walking up, I'll walk here, boom, attack the minion, walk up, CS, go back. And in the meanwhile, I'm just looking at the minimap, right? Like, oh, Graves is top lane. You know, he's boning the Teemo, good job. So that doesn't take a lot of effort. What if something happens that's completely unexpected? What do you think happens then, huh? You guessed it, right? Like you're thinking like, what? Oh shit, what should I do? Oh damn, what should I do? Oh, I think I'm just gonna E backwards maybe to just catch up. Oh, I don't know, right? And that's when you don't pay attention to the minimap. You see Morgana here? Well, I don't, right? At this point, I'm just not looking. I'm not thinking, where's the jungler right now? Is he gonna come? What about the Morgana? So here, Morgana, right? Like, look at the minimap. Tristan's gonna back. You're not gonna catch up to her. Look at the Morgana. Now here I step back in because I'm not thinking about where the Xin Zhao might be at this point. And neither did the Alistar, but this is not about Alistar, right? Like, this is not about teaching him how to play. It's about teaching me how to play. I have to shot call this shit. I have to play with random supports who might not know anything about the game and carry the lane, right? Or maybe not carry, play it well is the most neutral way to say it, right? So you have to understand this is, sure, the support did make a mistake, and he should have warded, and he should have not gone in there, but that's not relevant to me, because I'm just given a support at random, right? It's not built against me. The chance of me having a better support than the enemy's just as big as the other way around. So really, the only thing that matters is that I look at myself, right? And what I could have done, if I could have pulled this off better. So next time you think about that, when you engage, when you have Hack Slash, right? When a new mechanic enters the game, instantly start processing that, right? So next time I see an Alistar support, I'm gonna look at his runes and go, oh, he has Hack Slash, right? It's just like stopwatch. Oh, he has stopwatch. Oh, new mechanic in the game. Do they have stopwatch? Okay, I'll keep that in mind. It's part of the pre-game analysis, right? So from this point on, I'm gonna include that before the game starts. So here, this is very interesting. So look at this, look at this. She walks up into the turret, completely suicidal. So apparently I don't hit the cursor right. Yeah, I hit it here instead of here. And I see how I swooped that, but I clicked E before I hit the swoop here. So that's just mechanics, pure and utter mechanics, right? Just what can you do about that? I don't make those mistakes a whole lot, but I do make them occasionally. They're not my biggest focal point. So let's see where I died a second time. And I can guarantee you it's something that's going to be unlayered, unexpected, something I didn't see coming. So Jin Zhao pops into the back of the lane, right? So here again, where's the minimap, right? Like, it's not existent for me. We have a ward in that. I'm just not using that ward. So here I had to decide what to do. So very quickly, like, what if Xin Zhao comes into the back of the lane and attacks us? Like, first of all, what are the potential routes? There's some uncovered routes, so I should be thinking about that. Where is he right now? That's also something I didn't think about. Now, the second thing is when I have to choose to walk up to the Xin Zhao, but the problem is Alistar is already so much further back than I am that he can't really peel for me. So I have the option to walk back into the Xin Zhao here. I'm already gonna be exhausted here, so I can't really walk back. So I decide to walk the other way, walk away from Xin Zhao. So right now I'm thinking, how can I kill this Tristana? Can I orb walk this out? She already used her jump. So maybe, just maybe, if I just auto attack here, right? If I set up some traps here, I can just avoid this. And then I accidentally auto a ward. But I do think that the idea to do this was right. It's just that the execution was very lackluster. Especially since the Xin Zhao didn't chase behind me this way. Otherwise I would have had to move up. Right? So the biggest issue there is not layering the response to a Xin Zhao gank. And just layering, how could we even see that coming? Like thinking about that beforehand. Right? And as long as you don't have a conditional statement in your mind set up, you have to think about it and it's gonna go wrong, right? So here, as soon as Zoe walked up, I should have probably just backed off. We need some engage to counter this Zoe. I can't save this guy. I wanted to walk up and save him. It's the right kind of layering of like step in front of someone when they get hit, right? I have that set up. Alright, I'm gonna do that. It's just that you have to have the proper conditions for it set up, right? Like, as long as he's in range, as long as you're not in danger afterwards, as long as it's something you can fight afterwards, right? Because obviously if you both get killed in the aftermath, then you don't want to actually do that. So that's just improper conditional setup for it. Right, and after that it's just a matter of this as well was a very nice example. One, and here, boom. So look at the Xin Zhao in this one. Alright, so the mini-map looks good. 2 people top, so we can fight this. It's good for me to walk up here and contest this. So 1, 2... And he's walking up, telegraphing it. And I even told myself, I'm gonna E when he does that. And this is muscle memory. He did have to flash for it, but still, this is muscle memory. Muscle memory and game knowledge. Knowing that he can charge up auto attacks from minion waves. I didn't know that. I didn't know that's how it worked. I thought it was just press the attack-ish auto at the same champion 3 times. And the second thing is just like, yeah, muscle memory. Just looking at him go and then just be like, oh, he's gonna eat, boom, back, right? So those 2 components there coming into play. So that's how I go about improving myself. Is no matter how good you are at coaching, you still need to just play the game and just keep improving and practicing, right? No matter how good you are, your commentary, your analysis, doesn't matter. You need to play the game. It's muscle memory, like being holistic, right? Like mastering every single thing, like just building those layers up and the conditions for it and the muscle memory for it, right? It just takes practice, right? Like there's no way to do it. You can't do it by writing it down. Like you could do that. It's a good first step, but then you actually need to build it into the reflexes of your play, right? Where like the certain, if he does that, then I do that, is like 300 milliseconds. So that's why you need to play the game. Alright, it's enough for this one. I hope you guys learned something, and I will see you in the next one.